Let's see. A tier list. A tier list. We are going to do a tier list. I need to add a window capture. There we go. Okay. All right, so tier list for game console controllers. All right, let's start, I guess, with the basics. So we've got the Switch Joy-Cons. Now, specifically, I don't really like the Joy-Cons that much. The button placements are kind of like too close together for me, and a lot of times I end up accidentally hitting stuff. The drift is a pain in the butt. However, I do like how you can have them be like split up in two and like play like horizontally. However, because the left and right are buttons, like the D-pad is buttons, it's not as much my jam. I like a D-pad. Yeah, toaster game broke for goodsies. But yeah, but because the D-pad didn't naturally come with like an actual like D-pad function, it's just buttons. It definitely brought it down a few points for me. So if I can help it, I use like a Pro controller or I use like the Gamepad Pro. I use other alternatives. I even had one of those like left Joy Cons that had the D-pad. It had like a Pikachu on it. It was very cute. So Joy-Con, you are going to a B rank because you are neat, you are functional, but you could use a lot of improvements. All right, Xbox 360 controller might be the perfect controller. I don't know if there's anyone else who will really argue that against that. Um, it is just very well like made. S tier, no hesitation, just no hesitation at all. Like 360 controller is the optimal controller. Um, if I had the power, I would go back in time and I would buy like 100 of those wired USB 360 controllers. GameCube is good too. We'll get to the GameCube. The Duke. The Duke. Now the Duke makes for a great weapon whenever you are trying to commit murder. The Xbox controller makes no sense to me in any way, shape, or form. The colors are cool. Um, but do you know like why the colors kind of miss me up? Is because before I played the Xbox, right? I'd play the 64, and the 64, the blue and the green buttons are in the different position. I played a GameCube before I played an Xbox, where the green button is next to the red button on the opposite side. I've played a Dreamcast controller before I played an Xbox controller. And not only are the blue and green buttons on the exact opposite side, it is just a complete mess. There's nothing about the Dreamcast color-wise that's the same as the Xbox color-wise. So anytime an Xbox prompt would appear, I would not only be clueless, and yes, this cluelessness would extend into the 360 as well. I would get it wrong. I would lose every QuickTime event that would ever pop up. That would be a color button. Now, if it was the letter, I could do it. Like A, B, X, Y. Like I know where the letters are, but I don't know where the colors are. Also, let's not forget the extra buttons on the Xbox controller, the Duke. There's just the black button and just the white button. What do they do in most games? I don't know. I don't even know if they're ever even used in most games. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. The triggers were fine. On an original Xbox controller, the triggers are fine. Xbox, you are getting a D. Because damn, you make me mad. Alright, next we have the Super Nintendo controller. Super Nintendo controller. I can't think of any faults with it. By design, the start and select are far enough from everything else that you don't accidentally press them. The L and R buttons had good clicks. The button layout is fine. I think the only thing that I didn't like about the Super Nintendo controller is that the Y and X buttons had like an inner curve, and the B and A had like an outer curve for no reason. Did anyone else have a Super Nintendo controller like that? It may not have been like an official Super Nintendo controller, but I feel like the button shapes were different for some reason. Now, if I do have to say anything about the Super Nintendo controller, it'd be more about how like companies utilized it, because there would be a lot of cases where they would want you to press multiple buttons at the same time. When you're little, your thumb can't do all that. But overall, the Super Nintendo is fine. Functionally, it is very good for retro things. No complaints whatsoever. PlayStation 4 controller. Personally, I hate the PlayStation 4 controller. I hate it so much. I don't like the triggers. I don't like the touchpad. I don't like where the D-pad sits on it. If that makes sense. I think between the PS3 and the PS5, the PS4 has just everything about it that just feels off. I don't know. I can't get behind the PS4 controller. And it may be and it might be the touchscreen or like the touchpad, because the touchpad is what services for your start and select. Whereas you have your mode button and your capture button. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And to top it off, if you're ever playing like a retro game, like if you could play like they have like those PS3, PS2 games you can play on a PS4, your touchpad has to be the start and select for those. And there's no way to modify or change it. That capture button has to stay there. And at least when the capture button is on the PS5, it's smaller, it feels more out of the way. I never accidentally press it. I can't count the number of times I have pressed the capture button on the PS4 controller. Like, it frustrates me to no end. Also, it having a micro USB slot in the spot that it has it is tantamount damaging to actually being able to charge the controller. You can't set the controller down with a charger and like it not try to like bend the cable or bend the prompt or bend the port. Like you have to have it standing upright or have like a cable like that has one of those like curvy ports after the plug. Like if you just plug in like a regular controller and set it down, like it's going to bend it. And it frustrates me so much because I think I've lost a PS4 controller that way, where it just wouldn't charge or connect to USB anymore because of that shit. So yeah. Sorry. PS4 controller, you are going down to D. Worried about bending mine? It is a legitimate concern. Now, if like when you charge it, if you have it like sitting upright, it's fine. But if you're like just laying it on the console, like over time, yeah, it'll get hot, it'll bend, like it gets bad. It gets very bad. Next is the Saturn controller. Saturn controller. Let me remind myself real fast, because I actually have one here right next to my desk that I can unwrap and get a good feel for it. Alright, let's see. Okay. Saturn controller doesn't feel bad. The D-pad feels amazing. Like, now that is a proper D-pad. Start button's in the middle. It's got a lot of pushback, though. And the L and R buttons, they have, like, a perfect click. You don't. There's like no resistance to it. Probably what I don't like about it is really more of like not even the controller, but how the games utilize it. I feel like a lot of the games didn't utilize all 6 of the buttons effectively. Like there would be games where you don't even use X, Y, and Z, but like A and B have like multiple functions, and it's like why? Why couldn't this have been another button? But I can't give that. I can't fault the controller for that though, sadly. So, Saturn controller, you get to go up to an A status. However, the Genesis controller. Oh, Genesis controller. I don't like the Genesis controller. I grew up with a Genesis. I played the shit out of it. Um, I don't like how far the buttons are apart from each other. I don't like how there's only 3 buttons. There's no L or R. There's a start. There's no select. So all the games that had to be made were usually like lesser versions of like the Super Nintendo games. Like I don't know if anyone ever tried playing like Street Fighter 2 on Sega and saying it was the better version than Super Nintendo. You're crazy. If that is the case, then you are crazy if you think that. Genesis is a D rank. Genesis is a D rank stronger. Genesis controller was a mistake. Now, however, there is the 6-button Genesis controller, which is fine, but I can't grade it on that because that's not the original. Genesis controller is in D. I love the games. I hate the controller. Saturn is a way better controller. Also, why is the start button like right above B on it? I don't get why the start button is so close. I guess so you can pause. Crappy batarang? No, that's the original PlayStation 4 controller stronger. Let's not forget. Let's never forget. Or was that the original PS3 design? I'm a little mad by this tier list that's like already existing because like it's doing all the official controllers. I want a tier list of like nothing but off-brand controllers. That'd be so much more fun. All right, the Wii U pad. Oh man, the Wii U pad is. Can I just say like the Wii U pad is like the whole reason why the Wii U failed? Like people looked at that and they just thought it was a controller. It was a special controller for the Wii. And yeah, where are the Mad Cats? I will do. If someone can find me or make a tier list of nothing but Mad Cats controllers, I will look that up, and I probably have played like a good chunk of them. If it was a 64 or a PlayStation 1 Mad Cats controller, I probably had my hands on it at one point, and yeah, they're all F tier. They're all like double F tier, triple F tier. I had one get so hot I felt like I was going to get burned by it. Like, how does that even work? Wii U pad. The stick's fine. The whole camera thing was cool. Hi, chicken. The touchpad part is neat. Oi, where am I? I'm hiding. I'm hiding behind this tier list. Oh, I guess I can move myself. Hold on one second. I just realized. Let's see, will that work? Probably not. No, that won't work. All right. Then we will make the tier list smaller. There we go. Okay. There you go. You can see me a bit better. Back to my platform. I can't with how it's set up. All right. I can go back to the platform. I just have to go back into VTube Studio real fast. Color picker. There we go. Okay, back to my pad. I'm alive. Hello. Sorry, our original plans for the subathon were Rainbow Rescue, but the cartridge is scuffed and it crashed and it made a lot of cracking noises. So we're not gonna touch it anymore. So it's changed to a just chatting, hangout, tier list, whatever stream. That is the new thing. All right. So Wii U pad. Wii U pad's fine. It's fine. I wish it was incorporated better. I wish that the battery lasted like long at all. I wish that I could buy a second one. Like even like refurbished from Nintendo, I can't see. Yeah. It's kind of cool though, Stronger. Like I get what it was going for and its flaws aren't exactly like terrible flaws. So I'm going to put it in B. Only because like as like a controller, I felt like it functioned very well for the games I played with it. And I played like Wonderful 101 with that shit. I was crazy. But like playing like Mario Maker with it, what was another one that utilized touchscreen? Like Nintendo Land, like be a bit more portable. It would have been cooler if it was more portable for sure. I think it would have helped it out more. But I think what would have been better is if they didn't like advertise its portability. Then it made it helped a lot, made it help sell a bit more. There's a lot of things wrong. Probably the thing I'm most annoyed by it is whenever like parts of the game would be on there. So like maps and stuff are cool, but like in whenever you're playing like Tokyo Mirage Sessions and like you have to click through the chat box on the touchscreen while you're playing the game. It's like, damn it. They did it so much better in the Switch one. PlayStation 1. Ooh, good. We get to do DualShock. If anyone... Oh, good. Okay, wait. The regular PlayStation controller is afterwards. Good. Hold on. Wait, I need to look at this. Okay, yeah. All right, so they have the DualShock and the regular PlayStation 1 controller as separate categories. So, good. Good on that. PlayStation 2 with analog. Revolutionized controllers. I'm not crazy to say that, right? Like DualShock is S. Yes, Stronger. DualShock is the controller that changed controllers forever. Like we wouldn't have gotten the 360 controller, we wouldn't have gotten the Switch Pro, we wouldn't have gotten hell, we wouldn't have gotten like the GameCube controller. I don't think we ever would have gotten the good analog stick. Normal is A. I have some things to say about the normal one. I miss having like an original Sony PS2 controller because it feels so good. Like even those Chinese like knockoff ones just don't feel as good as a regular like DualShock analog. Switch Pro controller is functionally perfect. Like it's everything I wanted out of the Joy Cons. The buttons are a lot more separated. The rumble's good. It's got the amiibo support inside of it. It charges with USB-C, which is great, and it's not placed on a spot that like damages the controller. It is a functionally like perfect controller for the system, and if I could, I would use it on my PC more. Sadly, I'm having trouble with the drivers getting it to work, so that's on me. I'm bad at shit like that. So, all right, PlayStation 1 controller. There's never been a controller that's cramped my hand up more, other than like a Nomad control, not a Nomad controller, a Jaguar controller. You've had connections issue with them? That sucks, Stronger, because it is top freaking tier for me. I've yet to have any connection issues with them. I wouldn't be surprised though, because if there's anything I know about Nintendo consoles, like controller hookups are a huge pain in the ass. I've had more trouble trying to get the Joy-Con uh, to sync up the way I want it to, like 100 times over. Like it's like no switch. I don't want the Joy-Con sideways. I just want to use Joy-Con vertically in my right hand while I play this game. No, I don't want to do it left. No, I don't want the left one. No, I don't want both. Joy-Cons are such a pain in the ass if they're not plugged in the console for me. And yet I still was able to beat The World Ends With You on the Switch docked. I am a madman. I am an insane madman. But no, PlayStation 1, the original controller, would cramp my hands up so bad. Always. I never had a good time playing it. The D-pad felt like... it felt like I was like trying to like push into the controller. Like the buttons like barely stuck out. And it's got probably the worst start and select button I've ever messed with. Like it's got... You have to like push into it, it felt like. Just, I mean, and it's not like I haven't like touched one recently, like the PlayStation Mini. I have a PlayStation Mini. I've had my hands on a like original PlayStation 1 controller recently, like in the past few years. It was painful. That's cool, Stronger. Again, like, well, like a lot of my problems are more, I guess like with my hand, maybe my hand shape or like my wrist grip or something like that. I didn't like it. I couldn't do it. I feel like that timer is going way too much. Hold on 1 second. That timer needs to chill out. Chatbot timer. Online intervals. 30. There. Now it shouldn't be every like 5 minutes. You do have smaller hands. That might help. My hands aren't big, but like I don't know. Maybe it's just like the way I hold controllers. Like I tend to cramp my hands up sometimes. Like 3DS XLs or like DS XLs. Like I love them so much, but I will like damage myself playing them for too long. I have a problem. So sadly, you go into the D spot. PlayStation 3 controller. I think. What are you? This just looks like another DualShock. Oh wait, no, this is the PS2 controller. Okay. PS2 controller. You know what? Actually, DualShock, you go to A. PS2, you go to S. There we go. That's more like it. The PS2 console came out as black, so the controllers did come out as black. That's right. That is a PS2 controller. And yes, that has just better hand feels than the DualShock PS1. And really, that's all they could do. It's like they made the perfect controller, and they're like, well, what do we do? Well, let's just make everything better, tighten it up better. Just make all the buttons feel better. Have a good R2 button. Oh, what's that? Oh, well, forget good R2 buttons going forward. PS2 was God tier. PS2 was God tier Stronger. When I was playing Dawn of Mana a while ago, I just remember, like, man, I just love the way, like, PlayStation 2 just kind of feels when you play it. It's the retro, it's the modern retro level of, like, imagination and jank that just perfectly, like, hits my palate. It's like PS2 was the console where imagination and ideas thrived, and then in PS3 360 era, it was when imagination was like beaten with a pole, and then buried under a pile of cell phones. That hurts my heart a bit. It's, ah, we'll never get a sequel to Cookies and Cream. No, I agree. I think controllers did get worse the more features they added. It's like the only reason I consider kind of like the 360 and the SwitchPad Controller Pro better is that for some reason like having the left stick like closer to the edge for some reason just feels a bit better for me rather than where the left stick is on the PlayStation setup. And I don't know why. It's just for me it just feels better that way. Also, if I ever need to press buttons, like my thumb can go down to press the D-pad buttons rather than have to go up. And for some reason, that kind of like helps me like keep like my orientation better. You know what I blame that on? I blame that on our next boy, the GameCube controller. GameCube controller, I love you so much. And I don't even really know why. Like like in design, it's like if someone like tried to like fix the 64 controller cuz it still does a whole bunch of weird things. Bye chicken. Talk to you later. But the GameCube controller just feels so good. Like it's got my favorite Nintendo joystick. Like hands down, it is my favorite Nintendo joystick. Like I removed 64 joysticks and I replaced them with GameCube joysticks. You want a fanboy? Oh, see, that's the thing. Like, Nepke! Hello! Ham hi! Welcome to the stream, Nepke and Raiders! I am Zerataro, the lovable VTubing Ham Ham, and today, Rainbow Rescue died. Like, the cartridge kind of crashed and didn't work, so, oopsal. So right now we're just kind of chatting, hanging out. We're doing a tier list because I've never really done a tier list before. So here we go. We're doing controllers. I was talking about how like the GameCube controller is so weird in its design. Like it makes no sense in a lot of things. Like it's got the little Z button at the top, right? It's got the L and R buttons that you have to kind of dig into. And like the C stick doesn't feel like any other like right hand stick. But also it wasn't really used the same as the other right hand sticks. Like it felt like it almost had like the purposes of which it had, almost like it reacted better to having like those angles and stuff. Also the buttons had a good feel. So GameCube controller, you for me get an A. You're not above and beyond perfect, but you do a lot of things really right. And I can get behind that. Oh yeah, Nintendo controller. I don't really like the Nintendo controller. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that makes me a fake gamer. I don't really like the original Nintendo controller at all. B? Yeah, like it's functional, and that's it. Like it that hurts hands. Yeah, no, yes, Nintendo also hurts hands. Um, yeah, I don't ever get it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Not only do I like not like using it, but the sharp corners definitely don't help. Um, the games never. I never felt like they utilized the controls like properly. Yeah, Toaster, thank you for the tip. $35. You are a wonderful, wonderful member of the Ham Ham headquarters. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, SNES is way better. Like SNES is like beyond better. In fact, you know what? NES controller, you are down to C only because of how much better the Super Nintendo controller is than you. And not only that, the Game Boy button layout feels better than a Nintendo controller. And that's what I say about that. '64 controller isn't good either. But it did some cool stuff, and the games actually worked with it. I kind of liked having the Z button be like a trigger button. I should do handheld next. Oh man, I need to see if I can find that. Yes, because that sounds great. That sounds super great. I would totally do handhelds. Um, the C buttons were good on like half of the games. The L and R are fine. The control stick is the worst. That's the only controller that would get chalky the more I'd use it. You never liked the 64 controller much, even back when you had the only one. Yeah, no, it's not great. And what's probably the worst thing about the 64 controller is the stick. Yeah, the stick breaks. Like the whole like whenever you let the stick go, it goes back to the center point. Yeah, no, that would get worn out so damn fast. Like they were made so cheap. Um, it is design wise, it is interesting, and I kind of understand what they were going for it. If more games utilized holding like the D-pad style more often. The only one I can think of offhand that I owned that I used the D-pad style on was Mischief Makers. That was the only one I ever held like D-pad style wise. And there might be more, but I never played them. So, but yeah, no, all my sticks got worn out. That's why I learned how to switch out 64 sticks with GameCube sticks. Because like if you put like a GameCube stick on a 64 style controller, it's a lot more manageable. However, the new Retro Fighters third-party 64 controllers are even better. So you don't even have to like modify those anymore. Also, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but give it a C for adding the Rumble Pack. Okay. I would if it was built into it. I would give it a C if the Rumble was built into it stronger. But because it was something you had to get extra, I would more include that into an overall console review as far as accessories like that go. But as far as the controller by itself, I would not. Which means also for the controller, I'm not going to include the UMD. Or UMV, sorry. PSP was on my mind for a second. Hey, guess what? Dreamcast controllers are also bad. I don't know who ever enjoyed playing one. I wish I could enjoy it like you can, because I like Sonic. And it's got some neat games, but like the triggers on the Dreamcast controller suck. Like they're so loose. And you have to push it down like all the way to get like any kind of response. Again, the colors are all in spots I don't recognize. Kind of love them. I wanted to love it. I really did. Uh, the stick is very loud. Like it's a very clickety clackety stick. Yeah, it's a clickety clickety stick. The cable is on the bottom of the controller. And it's already a really short cable as it is. So, sadly, it just wasn't enough for me. It's got more. It's not the worst controller. I'm gonna throw it into C rank because it's not the worst. I would still play it above anything on the lower tier, including the 64. Because at least holding it doesn't hurt my hands. Functionally, I guess it does work with all the games. Now the Wii and the Nunchuck. That is a hard one to judge. The Wii Remote. You know what always sucks? Third-party Wii remotes. You know what doesn't suck? Like Nintendo remotes. Rest in peace, all those TVs. Look, all right. If you're sweating that much while swinging around your Wii remote, then what you need is a Wii Fit board and not a remote. Ooh, no. Anyway. Oh no, I'm terrible. I like it. I thought it was really neat. Every game I played, that kind of... Okay, not every game I played. All right, I'm going to... Oh, man, I need to do a tier list of Wii games because I've played so many Wii games. Okay, so, like... I am bad. I am terrible. Okay, like Wii Sports, the Sports Resort. Fantastic. No lie. Like Trauma Center. And, like, the Trauma Team games. Like, fantastic. Like Dragon Quest Sword, Link's Crossbow Training, Metroid Prime 3. Amazing. Like, really good utilizers of that. I didn't mind Red Steel 1 that much, but it was like really, really loose. I really wanted to try Red Steel 2. Give the remote an A, but the nunchuck a C. I wish the nunchuck was wireless all the time. Like, that would have made a lot more sense to me. Because, yeah, the nunchuck sucks. You're not wrong, Stronger. The nunchuck is a C. And I get why it's there. Because you need something to move in games. Because the up and down on the D-pad like worked for like a good bit of games. But definitely not a lot of games. However, even the games where it would recommend like using like the nunchuck, I always felt those would be more fun just plugging in a GameCube controller. Because a lot of them had that kind of cross thing. And hell, even when playing Mario Kart on the Wii, if I didn't have a controller, I would much rather like hold the Wii remote sideways and like use it while spinning. While spinning the wheel. Yeah, no, the nunchuck needed a lot more work. So an A and a C, sadly, make a B. Again, the Motion Plus being built into it. So like my favorite Wii Remote controller is the one I got with Skyward Sword. It's the gold one with the Motion Plus built in. I still have it. I still use it when I play Wii games on here or Wii U games. It is the best. It is so much. It is my favorite controller. It feels like the best. I wish that they were all perfect. Wait, where's the Wii Pro controller? It does not look to be on here, Stronger. That is a good point. I would put the Wii Pro controller... If there was an A plus for like a spot between S and A, I would put it there. Oh, wait, no, wait. No, the Wii U Pro controller, I would put it between S and A. Now, the Wii Pro controller, I'd probably keep it around B. The Wii Pro controller, I would probably keep it around B. Because it's bad enough you have to plug it into the Wii Remote. But I really don't like the button feel on the Pro controller. This is a fake list. Well, that's okay, but I'm a fake VTuber, so y'all knew what y'all were getting into. I need to actually like make like a tier list and just put all like the extra like secondary controllers in it. That'd be a lot more fun. Yeah, so I don't really like the Wii Pro controller. I like the Wii U Pro controller, except I don't like how it has that weird like micro USB plug that like the PlayStation 3 has. I've never understood why that port exists. It makes no sense to me. Like very few things use that plug. Doesn't make any sense to me. So speaking of PlayStation 3 controller, why you got that weird plug, bro? And not only that, why can't you charge while like the console is like in sleep mode? Or why can't you charge by plugging the cable into like a USB port? Did any of y'all have that issue where like, oh, I can only charge my PlayStation 3 controller while my PlayStation 3 is on? Why? What about the controller not getting power unless the console's on? Like, makes any sense? PlayStation 3 is such a weird clusterfuck of design. They made so many good things on it, yet the console is such a failure. Frustrates me so. But let me actually put it in my hands and give it like another feel. Battery's crap. Battery sucks. The battery sucks. But you know what? It's light. The PlayStation 3 controllers are way lighter than I feel like they deserve to be. And I'm talking about the DualShock ones too, like the original 6-axis ones. Like, you know, fuck those. But like the DualShock 3s, they are surprisingly very light. I don't like the sticks that much. Oh, wait. Okay, I don't like the sticks because they kind of like wear out after a while. However, the PlayStation 3 is the only stick click that I like. It is the only console where I felt whenever I click the stick in, it actually does it and feels like it did it. That said, I wish I would never have to click a stick in ever again. I hate how that's become a button in some games. I hate when that is a run button in games. Why? Why is that the run button? You're already pointing the stick in the direction. Why do you have to click it into run? It makes no goddamn sense. Also, it started the first, like, you know, like, those triggers that have, like, the pushback response. It's not like haptic feedback. It's the other one. Like the resistance. So that it feels like you're really like pushing the pedal down when you drive. In Gran Turismo. Why? Okay, that's great for Gran Turismo. Make a Gran Turismo controller. Other times, when I press the button, I'd like to press the button. If there's ever a game where you have to press R2 rapidly, you're going to like jam your finger. It's going to hurt so much. But it works. It works really well. It works with the PlayStation TV. It works with the PS3. You can remote play with it. It gets a B. Because its faults don't overshadow the fact of just how competently it works. But it's a step back from even the PlayStation 1 analog. And I feel that that's fair. Xbox One controller. It is what this one is, right? Xbox One. I'm having a hard time telling the difference between this one and the one next to it. Wait a minute. Is this color one the second model Xbox controller? Can I zoom up at all? No, I can't even zoom up. One of them is a Pro. Okay, so Xbox One Pro. Xbox One Pro, I would throw in the garbage. Back when I worked at retail, I worked at Toys R Us. Every Xbox One Pro controller that we sold came back busted because they were junk. and I actually got to put my hands on them, and they felt crappy. Felt like it would fall apart in my hands. The stickiness of it, like it felt like it would like just get stickier and grosser the more I'd play it. Like nothing on the Pro controller feels good. That's just a personal opinion of mine. I think it's the biggest waste of $150, probably 200 Canadian. I think it's Garbo. All right, and then just the regular Xbox One controller. It's a B. It's not great. I feel like all the stuff that the 360 controller did, as far as like pressing the home button and work, was just faster on the 360. I think the sticks feel better on the 360. I think the L2 R2 feels better on the 360. It feels like a step back. Also, I feel like it drains batteries way faster. Never really tried the Xbox One Pro. I don't blame you. Like it's $150 USD, so like it's a lot. A lot for a controller that, like from what I could see, is like god awful. Like people say, oh well, you can like replace the D-pad and the buttons, and you could like put on other stuff. It's like yeah, no, there are a whole bunch of controllers missing here. There's none of the Atari consoles. There's none of like the off-brand ones. There's none of the like upgraded ones. Like where's like the Wavebird? Why doesn't the Wavebird get to be a controller? Where's the Wii U Pro controller? Where are like the joystick peripherals? You know the ones I'm talking about. But it's fine for a start. I definitely do agree that those three controllers up there are the best controllers. So, Xbox 360, Switch Pro, Commodore 64 keyboard. Clackety clack 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 clack. Ooh, here you go. I'll go ahead and give you my my hot takes on the Intellivision controller. It sucks ass. ColecoVision sucks ass. Atari joysticks are fine. Atari joysticks are fine. The two-button one is better. I said it. Did you know, like, the second, like, what was it, the second or third model Atari you could plug Sega Genesis controllers into? They use, like, the same, like, port. That is, like, crazy to me. I don't know if the games would work with it, but still. It's just kind of, like, wild to think about. But hey, that was fun. Let's see what other things we can find. Most of your number buttons were broken? Yeah. Yeah. Or how about this? Don't lose the card. Don't use the card. You have to slide in stronger. Otherwise, you're fucked there, too. Handheld. Yeah, let's see if we can find a good handheld one. I don't know who makes these tier lists. Can I make a tier list? Do I have to like sign in to make a tier list? I guess so. Create a tier list for anything. Make a template. That's neat. In the meantime, we'll just keep searching for them. I'll have to make like a stream about a whole bunch of ones I make. What about handheld? So. I can do anime boobs? Oh, hell yeah. Let's see. What about this one? Alright, 1 second. I have to look this one over to make sure it's got like everything. Hmm. Hmm. No, I don't think this is a good one. Let me go back and look for another one. No, that's not all of them either. Here's one that's good. If not, kind of like everything. I still feel like it's missing some stuff. No, no, we won't do this one then. Why is it so hard to find people that like know how to make a good like list? I don't think I'm being stubborn. Just like have all of the options available. Here we go. This is much better. A little bit more. Better have the engage. I believe it does. Let me double check. Actually, wait here. Let's do this. And then I have to go here to OBS. I'm going to have to stretch this up a bit. Move this down. There we go. Okay, let me see. Engage, engage. No, maybe it doesn't. It's got this one. I don't know what that one is. Oh well. We'll do this one. And then we'll just do the engage itself. This one's good. It has the Game and Watch. Works for me. Okay, alright. So this one starting off, it looks like this is a Atari. I don't know which model Atari though. Oh, that was a Game Boy Micro? Oh, okay. That's fine. Game Boy Micro is good in there. Alright, so Atari. This is the big fat one, if I remember. That might be the one that can use the Genesis controllers. Uh, let's see. Real fast. F is going to be have not played. So that is the 2600. Okay. Yeah, I think I played the 2600. I want to say it was fine. If I remember, even when I was young, it was still considered like an old console. I don't remember ever having like any issues making it work. Controller still worked really well. It was a very short controller cable, and had the big old fat ass, big booty power brick. Oh, and it had that coaxial thing you had to like plug into it. That was also a pain in the ass. Man, I don't miss coaxial. Not great. All right, let's see. All right, the new 3DS XL. Or the new 2DS XL. I'm sorry. Uh, I have a lot of opinion on DSs. All right. We might as well go ahead and get a lot of them out of the way now. All right. I think the 2DS is fine as a B rank. I think it's super competent. I think you did not have a 2DS XL. See, that's the thing. I have a 3DS XL, but I don't have the 2DS XL. But they both play the same games. But the new 2DS XL was cheaper. But it usually didn't come with a game. So, in concept, I think it's fantastic. Because I don't like the 3D function in the 3DS at all. I think it was super gimmicky and it didn't do anything to improve any of the games. I can't think of a single game that being 3D was a positive spin on. Was it only like $10 to $20 cheaper? I think it was. I think it was. Oof. I think by the time the 3DS XLs went down in price, it was only a $20 difference. But I think before that, it was a $50 difference. I think initially it was like $250 to $200, and then the 3DS XLs went down to like $320 or $220. I want to say that sounds right in my head. Oh wait, no, it was $199 and $179. That's right. It was $179 because it was that weird price, and yeah, it was a $20 difference. Because the regular 2DS was being sold at just $79.99. Even and the new 2DS, if I remember, was like $129.99. Don't ask me why. The DS had so many different versions that it's such a damn headache to try and like remember them all. Like for realsies. But I have to say, like overall on concept, new 2DS XL, you get an A. 2DS, you get a B. Let's see, what are you? You are a DS Lite. You get an A. Let's go and just get the DSs out of the way. This is a regular 3DS XL. You get a C. Because you hurt my hands. I know Lindsay's like shaking her head going like, because you be holding it like a weirdo. I'm sorry, Lindsay. Let's see. That one, what's the difference? What is the difference between these two? DSi. Oh! Thank you, Stronger. Yeah, DSi, you go into the D rank. Because there was never a bigger waste of people's money than the DSi. That was such an insult. We added a good camera so that you could play these 3 games that are DSi exclusive. What'd you do? Oh no, we took out the Game Boy Advance option at the bottom of the console. Like, what? Garbage. Which one was the DSi? DSi's in the D area. And DS Lite's in the A area. Even if those aren't like the pictures of them, that's what they're being represented as. I'm making this hard decision right here. DSi is garbage. And Nintendo are like misers for like selling that to people. Taking out the GBA slot of the DS Lights or the DS in general, oh, it makes me so mad. You still have an original 2004 DS? I'm sorry, Fox. I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. But I won't lie, like, I've always had an issue with the original DS only because that screen is so dark. That screen was always hard to see shit. And then they have the whole, oh, you can turn the screen light off. It's like, how? I can't even see the screen with the light on. I had the old the one that came with Metroid Prime Hunters. It's just so weird that how dark it was. It was great. It was great. It was a great console, great start. I love all the improvements they made. But it's just so weird how like the screen went from the GBA SP to the DS and it was just so much darker. But they fixed it in the DS Lite. I don't know if they just like got like different used cell phone screens from a different manufacturer or what. But like yeah, it just worked out better. So yeah, regular DS is fine. I'd probably put it in the C though, and compared to the other ones. Like I would rather get a 2DS than like a well no. Because you can play the GBA games. GBA games are great. Yeah, regular DS you get a B. Regular DS gets a B. Oh, here we go. The 32X. Oh, man. Hey, guess what? I got to play the 32X back in the day. Uh, Whenever I would go to my grandmother's house during the summer to hang out, because, you know, my parents were still working. My cousin had a 32X. And so we got to play, like, her 3 games that she had. One was, like, a space fighter that sucked. One was... what was it? Like a sports game, I think. I think it might have been football. I can't remember exactly offhand. No, it was a racing one. It was a racing game. And then the last one was Knuckles Chaotix. And at the time, I loved playing it. Like I love playing Knuckles Chaotix. However, we had the old model 32X, right? No, not old model 32X. The old model Genesis, like Generation 1. So that means that you couldn't just plug in your 32X and play. You had to like put in these weird little like metal brackets into the Genesis or the 32X before you plugged it in for it to be able to read it. And even whenever you would have it in, like the 32X was still supposed to be able to play like Genesis games on top. Nah, it wouldn't do it. So you have to take out the 32X, take out the metal brackets if you wanted to play the Sega Genesis games. It was so frustrating. So frustrating. Everything about it made me so mad. And you still use the same controller. Like, there's really no benefit to it. Like, what? You got some more RAM, I guess? I guess, like, that's the Sega Genesis expansion pack? Nah, 32X, you go into the D. I won't lie, I used to sing the praises of Knuckles Chaotix a lot because I thought, you know, like rose tinted nostalgia glasses. Oh, man, no, I had a lot of fun playing it. I played it again like 3 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, this is the most boring Sonic game ever. There's like nothing in Knuckles Chaotix. Like those stages are so damn empty. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's cool that Sega was making a Voltron. I wanted the Neptune stronger. Give me the Neptune to where it's like all 3 in 1. I would have loved to have had that. Speaking of the Voltron, the Sega Saturn. So I never played the Sega Saturn like itself, but I have played a lot of the Sega Saturn games. So I don't know if I'm really allowed to really talk about it. It was super expensive. It's like so expensive. That's why I never actually got it. I didn't get to play the games until later, thanks to I guess kind of like emulation, like they were like porting stuff later. So sadly, I'm gonna have to put this in the have not played. I don't have a very positive outlook on the Sega CD though. Yeah, well, that's the thing. There were like so many of them coming out, and it's like when you're younger and you have like parents' Christmas, grandma birthday to like make these decisions. Yeah, no, there's not much you can do. You just kind of have to go with it. Let's see. I think this is the Intellivision. Garbage. Uh, ColecoVision? No. This is another Intellivision. This is the ColecoVision. You had a Saturn. It was a C. I have a Saturn, and yeah, C is fair, but I'll wait till I get to it so I can like kind of break it down a bit more. Dreamcast console. It is a it's an A to me because I think it does a lot of things. Like it was definitely like a console ahead of its time. Like the UMV was a very cool feature. Um, like imagine nowadays, like if games had more of like more like mobile phone like interface stuff you could do. Like it was like the first console to really do the online shit. Uh, like it's got a glorious library. Like it was like it could do arcade shit so well. It just wasn't given a chance. And it had four player co-op. Like after the 64, oh no, GameCube. It did have Power Stone. It had Power Stone. It had Evolution. Uh, it had the Sonic Adventures. Shenmue One was like a testament to its time. It had the better versions of things like uh, Tomb Raider 4, Rayman 2. There's something else specifically I was thinking of that it's got the better version of. Power Stone is fucking fantastic though. But not only that, it had so many good fighting games though. It had Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It had Technomancer, or Techromancer. It had shit, what's it called? Like Psychic Force. Oh, it had SNK versus Capcom. Yo, that game is fire. The game is such fire. Oh, it had Garou, Mark of the Wolves. Like Dreamcast had so many great fighting games. Also, it was the first like console that had Fantasy Star Online, and Fantasy Star Online 1 is amazing. At Space Channel 5, yo, stronger. I love me some Space Channel 5. I am upset that there's not a newer Space Channel 5. Damn it. I felt like we went through an entire like renaissance of rhythm games and we didn't get a new Space Channel 5. That pisses me off. Ooh La La deserves more love, damn it. And I will fight people to defend that. So yeah, um, first console to really do the online. Uh, you know, very very strong like library, a lot of potential. 4 players, 4 player couch co-op. It had Seaman. It had Seaman. I mean, 64 had Hey You Pikachu too, but I'm not going to take points off of it for that. Those two games are so dumb. Uh, Crazy potential. Crazy potential. It's got a Berserk game on it. It's not that bad. Never mind, it's S tier. It's S for Seaman. Okay, no, but did you know what is S tier? Not the Game Boy Color. It's A. Game Boy Color is A. It is amazing. It is awesome. It could still play the regular Game Boy games. It had like the little infrared thing at the top of it. Oh yeah, it has an Evil Dead game. It has a Kiss game. The Dreamcast has a Kiss game. That's like not on any other console. Like things like were born and died on the Dreamcast. It's got the better version of Mach X. Don't nobody know what Mach-Kin X is. I like Mach-Kin X. I'm such a dork. Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color is great. It had the little RF reader at the top. They started like making like games with like Rumble Pack feature in them. It added color to Nintendo like portables. It was like way after the Game Gear, and it couldn't do the Game Gear stuff. But you know what? I felt like the Game Boy Color still had like a decent battery life. Like, I had a lot of fun. I think I still have my Game Boy Color. It was one of those like the clear purple ones. I don't think I have the battery cover for it, but I believe I still have the actual like Game Boy itself. Somewhere around here. If I find it, I'll put the picture on Twitter. Oh, you played Makin Chao on PS2? Okay, so yeah, you played the remake. Yo, Stronger. That's wild, actually. Like no one I know has ever even heard of Makin. I should have known you'd be the one. I should have known. Makin shows in third person, but Makin X on Dreamcast is in first person. And so like it's a first person like melee game. And then there's like the whole like body switching thing. Like it's wild. Like Makin is like a trip. It feels like it should have been like an SMT game. Like the art style. It was a Blockbuster renter? That really surprises me actually. Huh. Let's see. So Game Boy Color, I would give an A. Game Boy. I'll give it a B. Because the damn thing is fucking like invincible. Like people say like the Game Boy can like survive like like bombings, and there's proof that it can. But just like I dropped my Game Boy so many times and it still worked. And I'm so grateful for that. And like nothing ever really got chipped, no screen cracked, nothing. Like it was just built like a brick shit house. And I played a whole bunch of Link's Awakening and Final Fantasy Adventure, Kirby Dream Land. Like I played so much of those 3 games on that thing. Mario Land 2, just it was a survivor. Built better than the color for sure. Yeah, no, built way better than the colors. Even like 4 AA's, like it would use those 4 AA's. Like it would like last a good while. I never felt like I wasted batteries putting them in an old Game Boy. Oh no, you broke your teal one. Ah. Dang it, the teal one's such a pretty color too. People talk about like, how like the 90s generation where like everything came in like rainbow colors. There's a pic. Yeah, Fox. That's what I was talking about earlier. A Game Boy that survived an explosion during the Gulf War. Like you can still turn it on and play like whatever, like Tetris or something that was in it. Like it is bananas how sturdy those things are. And then we've got the Game Gear. Oh man, the Game Gear I want to give more props to, but the battery drain on the Game Gear is brutal. Like it is brutal how much the Game Gear would go through batteries. So I don't know. I feel like it should get some attention for like what it tried to do. You hate the Game Gear so much. I like the attempts of what they tried to do on the Game Gear. Like, there is, it is heavy. You're not wrong. It is heavy as hell. The Game Gear has a lot of like games that are like pretty well designed for what they were trying to do. Like you can get like Last Bible on there. It's got like the Mega Drive versions of like the Sonic games. It's got Triple Trouble. It's got unique versions of like Lion King and Aladdin for Sega. It's got like different versions of like Dynamite Headdy and Spinball, but they're still fun. Like they're different, but they were still fun. And it, you know, a lot of times like whenever stuff goes portable, you have to sacrifice a whole lot. So I don't know. It gets a C. It's heavy. It eats up batteries, but it was still neat. It was still novel. It was color on the go. The screen was small though. I will never forget looking at that screen and being like, yeah, no, this is small as shit. Although, speaking of small screens, perfect segue there, Zerotaro. Nailed it. Yo, the Game & Watch. The Game & Watch is fun. Game & Watch is fun as fuck. Does anyone want to throw me one of those Legend of Zelda Game & Watches? Please? Look, people talk all the time about those like Tiger Electronics like games. Nah, fuck that. Game & Watch was way better than a Tiger Electronics game. Way better. And I'll fight people over that. Did they sell out of it? I think it depends on where you go stronger. I think some retailers still have a few of them left. But I don't think that they're in production anymore. I think they basically sold out to their distributors, and then just what's out there is what's out there. So, Game & Watch S Plus. Now, if you're talking about Game & Watch Gallery, like on the Game Boys, Fox, yeah, no, I'll give that game an S Plus. What's that? You want like 6 of these fun games with like 2 different versions each? Hell yeah, I do. Yeah, no, Tiger Electronic games suck. It's crazy how many of them they made. One thing I wish I had a Game Boy Micro, because I got to play one. Back when I worked at retail, I worked at Toys R Us. The Nintendo rep would come in, and she would bring the one she had. Like, it wasn't the display one she had; it was just the one she had. And I would play Donkey Kong Country 2 on it, and it played really, really smooth. That screen was fantastic, despite the size. Like, holy crap! The level of like quality in the picture of the Game Boy Micro was like dynamite. It made no sense to me. It made no sense how it could look that crisp. Buy a new one is so pricey. It is so frustrating how much those cost now. Because like there was a point where like, you know, retailers were just like almost giving them away. It's like, hey, for $20, get a Game Boy Micro and 3 games. Please take them off our hands. And then it's like, fuck. It's so good. Ah! I hate missing out on shit like this. It's not even like that, like, you know, amazing. Like, there's nothing special about it that you can't do on these other 2 ones we're about to look at. But it was just so neat. And also, it was very portable. Like, you could put it in your pocket and it wouldn't, like, cause, like, a fucking issue. Unlike the original Game Boy Advance, which kind of took up most of my pocket. However, was still an amazing console. GBA was great. GBA started its lineup with like Mega Man Zero, Golden Sun, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, Mario Advance 1, Mario 2. Because that's what it's called. It's a damn good version of Mario 2. It's crazy. It's crazy. Game Boy Advance is so damn good. Sadly, it has the same problem that like the original DS has, is that the screen was super dark. After a while, that screen would fade out. GBA Platinum had a banger commercial. Oh man, I need to go back and watch that. I love old school like game commercials. Like they do some like nonsense shit in there, so they really do. Um, but yeah, so of course GBA SP though is an S rank. Like perfect light up screen. It's foldable, perfect size. It has like the best library of like portable games ever. Well, I guess the Switch does now technically, so I can't really say much about that. Look for the rap song one. Oh, Grand Kirko, why didn't you? Why didn't you continue to make more raps for us? No, GBSP is like the best. It is the best. It is the best. It is the best. I love it so. The battery was rechargeable, unlike the GBA SP, or not unlike the GBA. It was rechargeable. It would last forever. I think over 5 years, I never had to replace the battery in my GBA SP. I think I only did it eventually because like an opportunity came up. It's like, yeah, $15. I'm like, okay, well, sure. I think I did that with my PSP at one point as well. I didn't need to, but it was just like, it's just good to have at the time. Sometimes you don't want to miss out. Game Boy Advance is great. I love it. I had Pokemon Ruby Sapphire. It was fun. Was that the only Pokemon games that it had? Oh no, it had Mystery Dungeon Red. Okay. It's kind of crazy to think about, like how many Pokemon games were on the DS compared to the GBA. You ever think about that? GBA had its 3, but like the DS had 3 Rangers. It had Gen 4. It had Gen 5. Had Gen 5.5. It had Gen 2 again. Oh, wait, no. GBA also had Fire Red and Leaf Green. That's right. Whew. About to talk myself into something stupid there. Yeah, those were good versions of Red and Blue. Oh. SP had the Mega Man Network, Battle Network games. It had remakes of some good classic RPGs. Like Final Fantasy Advance 4 through 6. Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Emerald. Emerald's fucking fantastic. Got another Metabots game. I want more Battle Network. Stronger. I would pay like blood money for another Battle Network game. People keep talking about like, yeah, no, Battle Network Anniversary Collection. It's next. It's next after Mega Man Zero. It's the only one that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath. I want a new one. I want Star Force 4. All the prototype stuff they showed for Star Force 4 looked really badass. Battle Network 7, Network Transmission 2, and Star Force 4, damn it. And ZX3. Give me more Mega Man. Please. I want more Mega Man. I miss him so. Mega Man was on the GameCube. Did y'all know? Did y'all know Mega Man was on the GameCube? And the X Collection, the Legacy Collection, Command Mission, Network Transmission. GameCube had a stellar library. Like so many games like are trapped on that console that we'll never see again. Billy Hatcher, Lost Kingdom, some Mario Party games that were fun. Mario DDR, Zelda 4 Swords. Oh, there was a Mario DDR game. It's not that bad. I played it once at a girl's house. That's right. That's right. That's my darkest secret, everyone. I played DDR to impress girls. And I'm not ashamed. I'm a little ashamed. Your sister had the Mario DDR game? It was charming. It was charming. I like Donkey Kongo. I played the shit out of Donkey Kongo too, no lie. I had a lot of fun with that one. Although I probably spent the most time was Melee. Yeah, no Melee. Melee took up a significant part. Melee, Phantasy Star Online for GameCube, and Sonic Adventure 2 took up the majority of my GameCube generation. I would rent a lot of fun stuff and play that, but like those three took the cake. No lie. Still have the mat. If you have like a working DDR mat stronger, you might be able to sell that for a good bit. Like it is hard to find those that are like in like working condition. Most people folded those up to oblivion, to death. They just gone. They out there. Probably the thing I hate most about the GameCube, and it's probably the thing that most people hate most about the GameCube, that the bullshit multiplayer connection to the GBASP that you needed to do for Four Swords and Crystal Chronicles. Yeah, fuck that noise. That was garbage. However, we also got the Game Boy player out of the GameCube. And the Game Boy player is fantastic. It kind of like saddens me that like there are so many Game Boy player systems out there, but like only like a few discs left all around that still work, like in comparison. What would you say? Like maybe like 1/5 of the discs probably compared to the consoles for GBA players. Like 1/5 if we're lucky. 1 second, need to hydrate. Ah. Sega Genesis. You are a B system. Because you were a lot of fun and you worked. You worked well. Like, imagine I didn't like the controller. Like, there are some damn good Sega games. What sucks, though, is that you also had that big booty-ass power adapter plug. A big power plug that takes up like 9/10 of the power adapter you're trying to plug it into. NBA Jam, yeah. I really do need to play more like Sega games on this stream. I don't play enough. It's a shame. I do like the Sega. Like I like it a lot. And part of it is because I did grow up with it, so I got to play a decent amount of games that were fun. But I mean, you know, it was still good. A lot of good shit in there. Didn't all Sega have the big power bricks? Yeah. Well, not the Saturn. Saturn doesn't have it. Neither does the Dreamcast, actually. No, it's just all three models of the Sega and the CD and the 32X. 32X had its own power cable with its big booty power brick. You needed 3 big booty power brick locations if you wanted to play a Sega 32X CD game. That's too much booty. Too much power. It's nonsense. There's no reason for that shit. No reason whatsoever. They were already making it. Sega wanted to start a fire. Sega does what Nintendo don't. It lights this shit up. Oh man. Fucking Jaguar. Has anyone else ever played a Jaguar? Jaguar is garbage. When I was young, I played it at a house where I'm pretty sure the parents of the kid were like drug dealers. So he just had like a lot of like random shit. So he showed me like the Jaguar. And yeah, no, it sucked. Like it's probably one of the worst controllers ever. It's got buttons and it's got like number buttons and it's got that weird like indentation in the B button for no fucking reason. It did have worms though. Stronger, I like worms. I don't like worms that much. And also, how it got worms like blows like astounds me. How it got worms working on that shit. I will play PlayStation 1 worms any day, or 64 worms. Worms was on 64, right? I'm pretty sure it was. I could be crazy. Pretty sure Worms was on 64. I'm gonna look that up real fast. I don't want to sound crazy. Worms 64. Yeah, Worms Armageddon. Worms Armageddon was on the 64. Yeah. Okay, I'm not crazy. It's important to me. I don't know what else to say. This thing here, this cassette system. Did I ever play Jaguar Sonic 2? No. I did not Stronger. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like, I just played like some like shit ass like fighting games. Don't. Well, now you got me all curious. Because I like me some Sonic 2. I'll play some bad Sonic 2. If only to traumatize myself. No, I wouldn't even know where. I'm sure there's probably a Jaguar like emulator out there, but it's choppy. Yeah, nah. Anti frame rate. Yeah, I don't know what this thing is with like the cassette player. I feel like I've seen it before, but I never played it. Let me see if I can look up what it is. Console that played cassette games. Man, Google is like no fucking help with that shit. Oh wait, was that like a the Commodore console? Can I zoom in? I can't zoom in. Let's see. Can I open it in a new page? No, I can't even do that. Yeah, I want to say I think this might be the Commodore console. The Commodore 64. Let me see. Or not the 64. Commodore cassette. No, it doesn't look quite like that. Yeah, the original Commodore. Looks like a Sega Master System. Oh wait, really? Oh shit, no, yeah, you're right. It is a Sega Master System. Oh, that's not a cassette. That's just the sticker. It just shows you where you put the cartridge in. That's all the buttons. Why do I think that was a cassette? I'm blind. No, you are totally right, Stronger. That is a Sega Master System. Yeah, I have not played it. I have not played it. Uh, that controller looks terrible, though. Makes the NES controller look great. Good eye, though. Good eye. Yeah, Fantasy Star and Alex Kidd. Man, Fantasy Star 1 is like a marvel of the time. Like, I was like watching a video on that about how Yuji Naka had to invent kind of like the parallax scrolling animation for like going through the dungeons. Like Yuji Naka did magic for Sega. Like, damn, I wish he was still making stuff. I like Balan Wonderworld. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, I'm so weird. Yo, Nintendo 64. You're a B. You are great, and I love you so. Uh, but you're also kind of a mess. No, you're an A. I love your quirks. Your quirky quirks. Because you get like a Rumble pack, the controller pack, expansion pack. Oh, wait, those aren't good things. It was kind of weird, though, that despite having cartridges, you still needed the controller pack to save a lot of games. Or before that, a lot of cartridges would do the saving. I know it depended on the cartridge, but it's always kind of weird to me. Nothing I hated more than having to, like, renting a game and it's like, oh, you need the memory card. It's like, shit, I don't know where it's at. It's like, it's so fucking frustrating. Played a lot of Cousins, Mario Kart, GoldenEye, and F-Zero. Oh, yeah, Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. I played a lot of that. Yeah, no, the 64 was a gem of my youth. I think I've rented more games for the 64 than any other console ever. I love it so. It's got my favorite games like Mystical Ninja Goemon and Bomberman 64 too. And it's got weird shit like Mischief Makers and Jet Force Gemini. It's got Banjo fucking Kazooie. I don't know anyone that doesn't like Banjo fucking Kazooie. It's a damn good platformer. I'll fight you. Mario 64, Star Fox 64. Freaking Pod Racing. I mean, Pod Racing was better on Dreamcast, but like I didn't have the Dreamcast, so I just enjoyed the hell out of Episode 1 Pod Racer and Rogue Squadron. Like those were like damn good Star Wars games. Fucking Pokemon Puzzle League, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium is wild. Like how much I would play that. Little transfer pack. Put your cartridge in. Play Pokemon Yellow in high speed. Yo, shit was fun. I wish it would have incorporated that transfer pack for other games. Original Nintendo. You're a C. You're a C because way too many times I'd have to take the game out, put it back in, try and blow it, push it back down, push it back up, take it out, blow it. I don't know who designed that whole, like, oh, it's got to be like the VCR. You got to push the game down thing for it to work. You're a fucking idiot. You are a fucking idiot. And I think you are just, like, stupid for making that design-wise. There's no reason why just plugging the damn game into the top of the console would have been, like, stupid to people. There's no reason. Breaks all the time. It doesn't help the games out. It's like a toaster trying to put a Pop-Tart in. Putting a Pop-Tart's it's easier than putting a Nintendo game in. That's how nonsense it is. Oh, like the design of the Nintendo drives me crazy in retrospect. You would waste like so much time wanting to start a game, just trying to get the game to start. Yo, PlayStation 1 is A. PlayStation 1 is S. PlayStation 1 is there double S? No, because I don't. Oh my god, they didn't put the Zapper on the last tier list. Well, we'll have to get together stronger. We'll have to make a true controller tier list. We'll have to put all the warriors up in there. Power Glove, the Wii Zapper, PlayStation Move controllers, the Kinect, all the warriors. Yeah, PlayStation 1 is S. PlayStation 1 is amazing. Not even just talking about like your Crash Bandicoots and your Final Fantasies. Like PlayStation 1 has like such an expansive library that like anyone could find a game that they could like on PlayStation. Like it was fantastic. And it was the start to a lot of just like some of the best stuff going forward. It almost had too much stuff. Like in comparison to the 64, like the PlayStation library is like what 4 times the size. Like, it's super crazy. If there was a double S rank, that's where PS2 would go. I still consider PS2 probably like one of the best consoles ever made. Also because it was a DVD player. And DVD players were expensive back then. You could play your CDs. Yeah, PlayStation 1's still considered like one of the best like music player like devices like out there. Just how much like Sony put in that shit. And DVDs and like PS2, yeah. Like it just went up from there. And it was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna watch my Haruhi DVDs. I'm gonna play my Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Because I'm a huge weeb. Gonna play my Gundam games. And then watch some Gundam. Oh man. Like go back and just like look at like everything that the PS2 library made and you'll just be like, holy crap, it made this much in that amount of time. I'll say PS2 was also like the longest lifespan for a console, right? Was I crazy about that? PS2 lifespan. Oh. 2000 to 2013. It's 13 years before it was discontinued. That's like that's crazy, right? Like not counting the Wii U, but aren't like most like console lifespans only like 5 or 6 years now? Maybe 6 or 7. Yet the PS2 lasted that long. Because if I remember, I think didn't it come out before the GameCube and lasted like after the GameCube? 5 to 6 if we're lucky. Yeah, nah, it's a big if. Big if. Oof. And it's all this guy's fault. PlayStation 3. Because they made the PlayStation 3 so damn complicated for developers to make shit on. I think the PS3 still had a decent lifespan, though. Let's see. PS3 lifespan. Okay, that had 11 years. What about PS4 lifespan? Oh, well, technically it was extended. It was supposed to end last year. Okay, so only about 8 years. Horrible UI. Ah, yeah, no, the PlayStation 3 UI is horrible. Not only that, but it like the store runs horribly. Like it didn't at the start, and then they updated it to where it was garbage. Like it was fine, and then they turned it to garbage. And like it just didn't stop there. It's like they kept doing all these updates. I felt like every update was making the PlayStation run worse and worse. And I have a Slim and a original PlayStation 3, so I still have the one that has like the PS2 backwards compatibility for most games. And it's like, yeah, no, they took that out. They took out all of like the extra plugs and options, all the extra like ports. I think I actually was like, I was like, I didn't realize it was, but I was part of that class action lawsuit where they sued Sony for taking away all those features. I think I ended up getting like 2 games for free, and like I didn't even like really care. It was like 2 or 3 games for free, And I'm like, what? I don't even think they were that good at games. I think one was like Pixel Junk, the tower defense one, which was fine. But I mean, I don't think that's worth like losing the PS2 functionality on my PlayStation over. It's like, come on. I'm going to keep my Fat Boy working as long as I can. Although, sadly, PlayStation probably won't fix it anymore. So if it does break again, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got that thing fixed from Sony twice so far. And I'll do it again if I could. But yeah, no, PS3. Okay, not only that, PS3 had the worst deal with Elgato as far as like connecting to the Elgato. Like if you would like anytime the resolution would change while I would be like recording with the Elgato, anytime the resolution would change, it would desync the audio. And so I'm sitting there trying to make videos off of like PlayStation 3 crap. And like it could be anything. It could be for a cutscene, it could be for a pause screen, it could be for a menu, it could be for a boss fight. Anytime the resolution would change, audio desync, audio desync, audio desync. And it would just extend it, so it's not even like it would just be like one like set increment of desync for the whole thing. No. It would be a continual desync. So it would scale. So you have to try and find each point where the resolution would change and then change the audio by that much. And it wouldn't even be like a consistent like time either. It could be like anywhere from like 0.2 seconds to 0.4 seconds. And it would do it so many times. And oh man. Never. Well, it doesn't matter anymore because a lot of that stuff's fixed as far as like the newer capture cards. But like if it was back in the day, never do a long stream session or recording session of a PlayStation 3 game because you were just going to fuck yourself. Oh, my heart breaks. It was so terrible. PlayStation 4, you get a B, but for other reasons. You are a very hot system. A very, very hot system. Your memory sucks. Your memory sucks for all the fucking like bigger games that are coming out nowadays. Like your memory sucks. You run so loud and you run so hot. But I don't regret getting it. And I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than the PS3. So I don't know. Maybe you should go up to A. The memory issue becomes so bad nowadays. I wish there was a B plus. If I could like put it in between the two, I would. So I'll round up for you. Can't hate it. I need to play God of War 4. Sadly, I still haven't played it. There's a lot of good stuff I enjoy on the PS4. I just hate how like the PS4 I had was like so like it was so hot and it was so loud because like it just couldn't keep up with like the fan sucked. And so I got a PS4 Pro and it was great. And I'm like, shit. I hate that. I always do that to myself. I always end up buying like both the original and the later version. I haven't done that on the Switch yet. I have not done that on the Switch yet. I feel very proud of myself. Oh, if PS2 Slim was on this list, it would get a D. I hate PS2 Slims. You got a fan cooler for mine? Necessary, stronger. Very necessary. PS4s are like fucking like heat sinks. As in they just like pour out heat like a sink faucet. Yeah, if PS2 Slim was on here, then it would get a D because I hate PS2 Slims. I think they're garbage. I've never seen one last like more than just like a year or two. Like the same problem happens on all of them. The disk drive just stops spinning. PS2 Slims are just like top tier garbage from what I've seen. Give me the big fatties. I like it. Yo, PSP is fun as fuck. It's crazy how popular it was just because like a lot of like people were like retrofitting it with like soft mods. Fucking Grand Theft Auto. Open the way to modding the damn PSP. That's such a great story. I'll never get over that shit. If there are more games for it, didn't cost so much per game. Well, they were about $40, I think, in most cases, weren't they? But at the PS3 with that insanely cheap feeling sliding top door. What? Toast, you're gonna have to show me this because I don't know if I know what PS3 model that is. Because I have the Slim and the Pro, but I don't feel like that. I recognize that one you're talking about. Sliding top door. Send me a picture of that on Twitter. Because I am super curious about that. Because that sounds neat. Also, I'm upset that I don't know what you're talking about. I want to know. $40 to $50? Okay, yeah, no, yeah, there were some that were $50. To be honest, I usually didn't spend more than $20 on a PSP game. Maybe 30. I would always wait for sales. But I did play the hell out of the PSP though. I wish like those games would go on sale again. But Sony says PS3, Vita, and PSP games can't go on sale anymore, despite them still being in the store. It's fucking garbage. PS3 Ultra Slim, I think it was. Yeah, I never saw that one, but now I need to. No, I had so much fun with the PSP. Persona 3 took up a lot of my time. But I also had like Persona 1 and 2. Metal Gear, Peace Walker, and Portable Ops. Oh no, Acid. I love like Metal Gear Acid. I didn't play Acid 2. I only played Acid 1. But my friend played Acid 2, so she showed me the you know. It came in red. Man, now you got it sounded like the Wii Mini to me. Oh, speaking of colors, the PSP came in all sorts of fun colors. Like that was so wild about the PSP. There was like a Dissidia version, a Crisis Core version, a Star Wars version, God of War version, a Hannah Montana version. There was silver, there was gold, there was black, there was white, there was pink, there was blue. Oh, I love Acid too. Yo, I love Acid. Metal Gear Acid's so much fun. It is the weirdest shit ever. Those like awesome like graphic novel style cutscenes. You had the White Star Wars one. Yo, yeah, I remember that one. That was with I think Battlefront Renegade Squadron. I think it was. I just had the regular white one until I got the Model 3 PSP, in which case I just got a pure black one. I always wanted the gold one. But I'm like, I'm fancy like that. Give me the gold, give me every controller in gold. I'm a fancy ass ham. I like gold. Now I like the PSP a lot more than I like the Vita. Now the Vita had some expensive ass games. Damn shame. Because I wanted to like it more. Because it was pretty. The Vita had a damn pretty screen. I want to talk about the Game Boy Micro having a pretty screen. The Vita has a damn good screen on it. I don't know the resolution though. Original PSPs felt so chunky. Okay, the Model 1 PSPs were chunky as hell, Toaster. You're not wrong. The Model 3 PSPs were very, like, it felt like you could, like, break it by, like, just, like, it tapping, like, a wall or a table. Original PSPs, you could, like, use them as, like, a murder weapon. But Vitas were heavy, but they also felt very brittle. And I think that's actually what happened with mine is the sticks were dying on them. And it's like there's nothing you can do about that. I think actually, you know what I was experiencing? I was experiencing drift. The left stick was drifting. And I'm like, fuck, it's pointless. It's pointless now. There's no reason to keep this thing. and it broke my heart. Because I had a lot of fun with it. What good games were on the Vita? Well, at first it was the only way you could play Persona 4 Golden for the longest time, and that's the best version of Persona 4. It's got the best version of Muramasa Blade, the game done by the fancy art people, Vanillaware. Best version of Muramasa. It was the first console that had a Gravity Rush. I mean, it's on PlayStation now, so but like Gravity Rush was like great. Soul Sacrifice was a good hunting game. It was the original God Eater 2. I mean, mostly everything's been like remade at this point. Let's see. There's a Tales game on it that hasn't been remade. It had a Persona Dancing All Night. It's the first one with that. I think there's another RPG on it that was really popular. Can't remember offhand though. Vita games. See, yeah, Gravity Rush. The Uncharted for it was fine. It wasn't really my favorite or anything. I think it was one of the first things to get Minecraft. Oh right, it was the first games to get Danganronpa. Like Danganronpa 1 and 2 and the third one, Trigger Girls, were originally like Vita exclusives. Ooh, Freedom Wars. Freedom Wars is a damn good hunting game that sadly died. It had Minecraft. Yeah, no, it was one of the first things to get Minecraft. Actually, it was pretty wild. It also had like really strong versions of like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom, and it had. This is gonna sound dumb. It had the most character version of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I kid you not. I don't know why, but that version has the most characters compared to every other version of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I don't know. I don't know. I can't argue it. It's just a fact. That has the most characters of that game. The optimal way to play Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. However, it did have some issues. Despite you being able to you're supposedly able to port PSP games onto it, like digitally. Not every PSP game would work. Like I couldn't get my Castlevania Dracula X on there. It had the terrible memory cards. Like they were memory cards just designed for a Vita. They weren't like micro SD card slots. They were like a mini micro SD. It was bananas. They're so expensive. Like the GOP of like a third world country to get like a 256 gigabyte memory card. Yeah, no, Toaster, you're not wrong. The industry is moving away. You know what? If the Vita, I know everyone says this, if the Vita had a dock to where you could play it on the TV, it would have revolutionized portable gaming. But the Vita had no video out whatsoever. Nothing. The PSP had a video out cable you could buy. You could do remote play, sure, but that's not the same. Because of a convenience thing. People want to be able to put something on a dock and it work. It's just good design. The less complicated you make it for people, the better it is. So yeah. The Vita means life, but the Vita is dead. Although I do love, this is like one of these new things on Twitter that I like. I like people trying to collect every Vita game. People are showing their Vita collections on Twitter, and it's like, yo, I fucking love just how much people love the Vita. I wish I loved the Vita even half as much as the people that love the Vita. Not even their own memory stick format. It was a special Vita-only memory stick. I do remember the memory sticks, though, Toaster. The PSP ones. Those were also kind of weird. But at least I think those you could use in certain tablets at the time. So, or like in certain cameras. So at least those had another use. The Vita memory cards, no other use whatsoever. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yo, the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn, you get a B. Because I like the controller. I like the games. I don't like how the memory cards work. Like the onboard memory for the Saturn is like nothing. Like it's garbage. Like if you have it can hold like a few small games or just one big game on the console. And again, that still takes like 4 like watch batteries. And if those batteries ever die, well then your data's gone. And also it's automatically going to go up to the hey pick the date. So yeah, if you were playing the Dreamcast and your VMU battery ever died, at least the data was still on there. Like you could save it. But if the memory card, like if the batteries on your Saturn die, yeah, that data is usually lost. Now you could get cartridges that were memory cards, but they sucked because again, it's only like 16 megabytes. It's like 1 or 2 big games or a whole bunch of small games. And for some reason, Saturn games, like the amount of memory they use is crazy. It could be a small game like Bug or a big game like Virtual Highlight. And that would just be it. You could just have those 2 games on your memory card. It made no goddamn sense. It's almost like you were just supposed to play it like as an arcade mode kind of thing. I'm surprised the games didn't have fucking passwords. There. I'm surprised the Saturn didn't have passwords. Saturn has so many gorgeous 2D games. See, that's the thing, Toaster. Like, it tried to market itself as a 3D console, but, like, the way that it's built can't handle 3D graphics. So it makes no sense why they, like, kind of, like, push themselves, like, shot themselves on the foot like that. Because, yeah, no, their 2D stuff's great. 2D stuff is fantastic. Like, the fucking Shining Force games they have on there, amazing. Lunar, amazing. Marvel vs. Capcom, no, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, or X-Men: Children of the Atom. Like those are like great ways to play those games. And it's got like, I don't know if it's like the optimized, but it's got like one of the best versions of like Mega Man X3. Like I don't know how that works. I like it a lot. Whatever. It's great. The Saturn's like an odd gem. It's a very, very odd gem. I'll have to say this, like, Sonic R on that sucks. Like, the PC version that they ported to GameCube is way better. Leaving that there. That might come into play later on. For future complaints. You never know. Yo, Super Nintendo, you're an S. Like, Super Nintendo is fantastic. It was a great 2-player machine. I never had any issues with it, ever. Yeah, no. I mean, I really can't think of anything bad about the SNES. It has a fucking eject button. It's so good. I love eject buttons on consoles. Never worried about fucking something up if I have an eject button. It's got a good reset button. It's got a good controller. It's got so many good games. It's got so many bad games. The Super Nintendo has so much crap on it. You try not to think about it, but there's a lot of games on the Super Nintendo that suck. Like Simpsons games or Ren and Stimpy games. Those aren't fun. Those aren't fun at all. For every, like, Mario and Sparkster, you got, like, a Bubsy. And the Kamikaze Raccoon or whatever. Kamikaze Flying Squirrel. What was his name? What was his name, Kamikaze? The Flying Squirrel? I'm going to look this up. Oh no, his name was Zero the Kamikaze Squirrel. Great SNES music with its voice chip there. Oh yeah, and Mode 7. Yo, Mode 7's great. I know people like harp on Mode 7. I have a good time with Mode 7. Right, and the SNES was home to like my favorite Final Fantasy 4, which was Final Fantasy 2 at the time. Also Chrono Trigger. Also Breath of Fire. Good games. Also Mega Man X and X2 and X3. It's like, so good. I'm sure there's like, I want to get one of those books that has like the entire like library of a console, and just kind of like peruse through the SNES section, just look at all the stuff there, because I'm sure half it's gonna be crap. But just like, there was a lot. There was a lot. Hey, guess what? The Switch is an S. I don't know what else to say. Like, Nintendo nailed it. The Switch was everything I wanted in a console. I don't care that Pokemon doesn't have like Skyrim graphics. I don't want it. I don't need that. Just make games I'm having fun playing. And it is. I also still have my original Switch. I don't have my original Joy-Cons though. I did have to replace those because I got the drift. But my console still works great. Love that thing. Switch is so damn good. Man, what a U-turn from the Wii U. In fact, we're just going to go and skip ahead to the Wii U. Wii U, you get a C, Wii U. Because you failed. You failed. And now Twilight Princess and Wii U, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are now stuck on you. But Joy-Con drifts. Yeah, well, I mean, you know. They don't make stuff like they used to, sadly. Also, again, I prefer the Pro controller anyway. The Switch Pro controller is like up there with my favorite controllers. Also, not even that, but like the Pad Pros, like the Hori Pad Pros, I like those better than the Joy-Cons. So, if I could, I would have like a Joy-Con-less experience with the Switch. Sadly, there's still some things you need the Joy-Cons for, like The World Ends With You, or Ring Fit Challenge, or Ring Fit Adventures. Oh no, that is a game that kills me. Oh, that is bad for my heart. I should do it more often if I didn't want it. If I didn't feel like I was dying every time I do it. You know what sucks though? The Wii U has like the best virtual console. But the colors are saturated. So it's not the best. But damn it, it's got all the GBA games on it. It makes me so mad. Why? Why did Nintendo do this to themselves? As a gamepad, you can tell the ideas for the Switch are there, but they're sort of prototype phase. It was definitely a prototype phase. Like a lot of like ideas and just like poor marketing and just poor like everything. Like that initial like trailer where they're showing it off like confused so many people. Like I was working like retail through the Wii U years, and like people would just think it was just a controller add-on for the Wii. And then every now and then the kid would be like, "No, Dad, I need to get the next. I have to get the Wii U version so I can play the new Skylanders." With Bowser. No, Donkey Kong. Wait, Bowser. Donkey Kong was in the Wii U one. Bowser was in the Wii version. Okay, I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. Skylanders Supercharged. The Wii U and the Wii one had a different amiibo cart character in it. Yeah. I hope everyone is enjoying this very rambly stream. This is why I don't do these that often. Because I can go off on tangents. I am a tangent master. My brain is like a palace of just information. If I get lost in it, then y'all are getting lost with me. Anyone in the chat? Did anyone else besides me play the Virtual Boy ever? I'm very curious. Because the Virtual Boy sucks. People don't kid when they say the eye strain was real. Like the eye strain was real. And I wear glasses normally too, so I had to like try and like not wear glasses at the time. So I was already like pushing my nearsightedness to its limit. Oh, it's a good time. Oh, let me tell you, Toaster, it's a damn good time. The tennis game on that is actually pretty fun. The Mario Tennis. Oh wait, it's not Mario Tennis. It's just like regular tennis, isn't it? Virtual Boy Tennis. Oh, yeah, no, it is Mario Tennis. Okay. Holy crap, that was the origin of Mario Tennis. Holy crap. Oh. Get wrecked, Waluigi. You weren't in the first one. But yeah, I only played Mario Tennis and Wario. Never played it. I mean, if you do an emulator, it's fine. That's what I did for the Jack Bros playthrough. Is I just played it on an emulator. Because Jack Bros is fun, and the Wario game is fun. The Wario Land game on the Virtual Boy, still a very solid game. It does the like foreground and background kind of thing, like in a Kirby Triple Deluxe and Planet Robobot. It does that like very often actually. I was actually kind of impressed. I think it does it for the boss fights too. But yeah, just those games, just Jack Bros and Wario Land. That's all you need to play on it. If you play anything else, you're just wasting your time. The Wii is S rank. The original Wii is like great. The original Wii can play GameCube games. It's got the 4 controller ports on top and the memory cards. It's got such an amazing library. Just like it's astounding. It also like helped save Nintendo. Like it made Nintendo like dump trucks full of money. And probably what I like most about the Wii is that like my mom like enjoyed the hell out of it. Like she stopped gaming after the SNES because she just kind of couldn't keep up with it. But she loved the Wii. Like loved the shit out of it. Like she had virtual tennis. She had the pinball game. She had I got her Tony Hawk American Wasteland on the GameCube, so she could play that on it. Like she would just have so much fun playing it, and it made me so happy knowing that like I got that for her and she was able to enjoy it. Very good memory in my head. It is indeed a cultural phenomenon. Like you would always see like people like putting them in like doctors' offices or like use them for like physical therapy, and like yeah, no, good stuff. Like people liked playing it. People had like fun playing the Wii. Like even beyond just like the sports games, like there was just other stuff on there people would be love to give a shot. Like I guess they were really hoping with the Wii U that they were gonna like strike fire twice, but just now it just didn't work out that way. Oh, the Wii is so good. I still have like all of my Wii games. Like Like I only have like one console that still works. Like my other Wii console, the disk drive stopped spinning, so I need to figure out what to do with that. But I still have like all of my games. So I've got like The Last Story and Xenoblade. I've got like Mario All Stars and Kirby's Dream Land Collection. I've got Crystal Chronicles. Yeah, the public did think it was just an extension of the Wii, but also just like, but Nintendo like didn't try. I feel like Nintendo didn't try as hard as they did with the Wii. I feel like the advertising for the Wii was so much better than the Wii U. Like those commercials where like Iwata and Miyamoto show up at someone's house and say we would like to play. I think that's like the smartest commercial like Nintendo done in a while. I mean, it's no Game Boy Micro rap, but or PSP rap or whatever. But like, no, that's just fun. It's like, hey, they show up at a place, they're playing the game, they're doing the motions. This is what the console is. They didn't do anything like that with the Wii U. Just some friendly Japanese people showing up at your house to play some games. Sounds awesome. Damn shame. Love the Wii. The thing about the Wii I don't like peripherals, but that's not Nintendo's fault. It's kind of Nintendo's fault. Trying to think, was there anything really that like needed a peripheral? Because like the wheel didn't. I think Mario Kart didn't need the wheel. I guess maybe the Wii Fit board, but that's fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. I think was there anything else that like Nintendo officially made for the controllers? Can't think of anything offhand. Did y'all know there's a biking game for the Wii that like it connects to like an electric like exercise bike? Let's see, what was it called? Let's see, the Life Fitness Entertainment System did see blah 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 blah. While the bike accessory with Big Ben's interactive cyber bike. Yeah, I saw it on Amazon once, and I was like, "What? Why?" Oh, it blew my mind. All right, I guess we're here at Xbox, which is not my strongest suit. I won't lie. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know. I never owned a 360, but I played a 360. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume it goes like this. Red Ring 360 goes there. Elite 360 goes here. Xbox goes here. And Xbox One goes here. When did the Wiimote Plus sensor happen? The little plug-in? It was in like the second year, I want to say, of the Wii, but then they started putting them in the controller automatically, and it was way better. Like the second generation of Wii remotes had the Motion Plus in them, and it was a lot better. That little gyroscope, I felt like it helped a lot. Maybe it's just like holding down and B in Pokemon. Like maybe it doesn't really help, but I felt like it actually made a difference. But yeah, Xboxes I don't really have a lot of experience with, but I can go ahead and say that the Xbox One, I hate the interface so much. I hate the interface. I hate the interface. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I can never tell where the movie I put in is. I had to download an application to play Blu-ray players on my fucking Xbox One. What? I can never tell where the game is after I put it in. The store is a fucking like trash fire. Yeah, I don't like the Xbox One. But I do respect Xbox Arcade for being really smart. If not, like possibly too strong to be able to oversaturate the market. We'll see what Sony does in response, but well, yeah. That is an evil that feels necessary, but could also lead to like a monkey's paw kind of thing. And I'll probably talk about that like another time. The original Xbox, it's a beefy boy. Has some cool games. Controller's weird, but it works. It has some fun stuff. Xbox 360's fine. I never owned it, but I played it at a friend's house a lot, and it was fine. It definitely did have like the memory card issues. You know, you had to like buy that little thing to plug into the top. That was weird. It's a very weird memory card. I think they did eventually like make it where you could just buy like an external hard drive, like USB hard drive, flash drive, whatever. So, good on them for that. But yeah, but again, only the Xbox 360 like Elite, like the original Xboxes, like those red rings were legit a problem. Everyone I knew that had one had to trade at least like two of them in. Such a dick punch to Xbox. They make a great console, and then they dick punch themselves about it. Ads right in the home screen when you run it too. Oh, you're talking about the Xbox One? Yeah. Hate it. Hate it so much. It's just, it's so frustrating. I just kind of wanted to use it as like a media device, and I can't even find where the damn movie is I put in. Like I go to use Crunchyroll on it, and like it's the most like obnoxious version of Crunchyroll there is. I haven't even tried like my Netflix or my HBO Max, because why? Why bother? I feel like I'm just gonna hate it there too. Don't know why the Crunchyroll feels so different either. I mean, it works fine on the PlayStation. It just doesn't feel like it's the same one. But yeah, no. So those are consoles. That is my console tier list. It kind of makes it look like I'm a Nintendo fanboy with a little bit of Sony bias. I I probably couldn't argue that, honestly. I don't know what else to say about it. Still though, gaming is awesome. It is just so much fun. Like looking back at all these consoles, just like despite the issues, just like things like built up on top of each other, like lessons learned or things changed, like just a little bit more each time. Like I love that kind of stuff. If only things would just always like improve, for the better. Life is but chaos.